Well, brothers and sisters in Christ, we're going to go ahead and get started. And in the book of Genesis, Pharaoh makes Joseph ruler, declares that I can find no one greater. There's no one else to trust to get the job done. Joseph's brothers come to buy food. There's famine in the land. Call it a dearth. Joseph's brethren, chapter number 42, living with loving me. Verse number 7. And Joseph saw his brethren and knew them, but he made himself strange. So when he made himself strange, it is because, I really remember, but I know y'all, but y'all don't know me. Reuben began to, explain to his brethren, look, guys, we're in trouble because we threw Joseph in the pit, left him for dead. Now, as Joseph is in Pharaoh's work order in Egypt, carrying out the orders there, we see that in verse number 9 in Genesis 42, Joseph remembered the dream which he had dreamed of them, saying, one day, guys, you're going to come in and you're going to have to bow down. Even his father said, well, ain't we going to have to bow down to y'all too? Well, it all happened. So we're going to pick it up in Genesis chapter number 42. And let's start at verse number 22. I don't like that area. Let's look at verse number 14. Genesis 42 and 14. And Joseph said unto them, that is it that I spake unto you, saying, you are spies. So explain that the last time, and Joseph know who they are, but they don't know who he is. Now, he's getting ready to send them back to their father in Canaan, but he's requested that y'all better bring forth Benjamin. Prove that you are who you are. And we'll see what's going on here. And in verse number 16, send one of you and let him fetch your brother. So he's going to hold them, and then he's going to release them. And look at what it declares. And you shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved whether there be any truth. So now he's making sure that they prove who they are. Okay? And in verse number 22, Reuben answered them, saying, spake I not unto you, saying, do not sin against the child? Now they're feeling guilty, having to go back, got to deal with their father, Jacob. And now Reuben, the oldest one, is saying, we shouldn't have done this, whatever the case may be. Living with loving me, just bringing you up to date. And in verse number 22 again, Reuben declares, but y'all wouldn't listen to me. Therefore, look, his blood is upon our hand. We are required of it now. In verse number 23, and they knew not, here it comes, that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. Now, let me show you something. Joseph had the language of his family, but he also have the language of the Egyptians here. So Joseph is speaking a little Spanish and a little English. But the brothers are only speaking English. And Joseph acts, and plays the game. Now, watch this. Here it comes. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. Okay? And he turned himself about from them and wept, and returned to them again and communed with them, and took from them Simeon and bound him before their eyes. Now look at what's happening. He's in the midst of his brother. He's living with loving himself, remembering where he come from. So he's talking to his brother, but he got an interpreter there. And as he's speaking to them, he's looking and going over and remembering all of the times they grew up, all of the times they may have played together. So he's automatically forgiving them. And he's automatically healing himself. As you forgive, you heal. And so he's healing within himself now. So he runs off and he turned around and he said, God, I can't take this no more. And he sit back and he just cry. And inside he's thanking God. He's saying, God, thank you for my family. Thank you for my brothers. But now I've got to go back and I've got to deal with this in a wise situation. So he changes faces again. And he runs back to his family, to his brother. And look at what's going to happen. There's a lot of good stuff in here. And he turned about from them and he wept. He cried. And then he returned to them, communed with them. He's talking again. In verse number 25, Joseph commanded and consumed and communed with them and took from them Simeon and bound him before their eyes. Okay, here's the deal. Come here, Simeon, you old dirty rat, you. I love you, but I'm going to get you for now because you were the orchestrator part of it. Got old Simeon, bound him. We're going to hold you, boy. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn and to restore every man's money into his sack. What? What manner of love hath the Father have bestowed upon us, that we would love one another? Fill their bags. Now he's going to hide the money in the bags. Now here it goes again now. And to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provisions for the way. And thus did he unto them. Now listen to this. Joseph said, guys, I'm going to fill your sacks with the corn and the wheat. Not only that, but I'm sending y'all off with a steak and lobster meal. They're confused. Why is he hating us and treating us so good? Amazing, isn't it? Inside of you, you will be treating people so good, at the same time hating what they did to you. That's when you're becoming now. You're maturing now. What used to hurt you is not hurting as bad. Now wait. A lot of people say, what used to hurt don't hurt no more. No. What used to hurt has been killing us, destroying us in our mind, in our soul, day and night. Let's tell the truth about it. But now, what used to hurt us don't hurt us half as bad, don't hurt us anymore like it used to. And then over a period of time, God brings you to immunity. He brings you into a place to where you are sealed, the scar. You seal it. The scar is there. The pain is there. It's in your heart. It's in your mind. It's in your soul. In some, even in their body. And you sear it with a hot iron. And you burn that wound and you close that hole. And after so many years of repeating in your mind, of repeating the process, there come a time that old scab sore is healed. Used to rub it, it would itch. But now it's flaking up, taking over. You rub it and now it's starting to move by itself. You really don't want to get rid of it because you really like for something to remind you really. And one day you get up and you move it and the whole thing fall off. And all you're left is a little white circle with a little powder dust on top of it. Y'all know what the scab does. It's totally healed now. Totally gone. The only thing you have is the scar to remember. And you thank God that it's finally over. Joseph, Simeon. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sack and to restore, when verse number 25, Genesis 42, every man's money into his sack, and to give them provisions for the way. And thus did he unto them. Thus did he. Why? Because his conscience is free. His conscience is free. If your enemy hunger, feed them. If they thirst, give them to drink. This doesn't mean that you ride around in a car with a bunch of devils and taking them to restaurants. You don't drop them off on the side. Matter of fact, don't pick them up. Okay? God is teaching each and every one of us. There's a significance here. You have got to remember that forgiveness is your ultimate weapon. Forgiveness is your healer. Forgiveness is your deliverer. Without forgiveness, there will be no salvation. Not for Joseph nor his family. And you must remember, likewise with you, you're hurt, you're sick, you're stressed, your body in disarray. Why does the period come this way or that way, or the season come this way or that way? Why is it not regulated within me? And why am I folded up backward when I think I'm standing straight? And why am I on the left when I'm trying to be on the right? In the middle when I should be on top, at the bottom when I should be at the back? Why is this disorientation there? What is confusing your body, your mind? What's got you disoriented? What's got you wayward? Who? Said the owl. Who? What? Confusion. Forgiven. See, when you forgive, you release the stress factor. You got to forgive, and when you do, that's how much of your sickness begin to leave. Your healing begin to take place. Cancer has got to go. Headaches got to go. Why? Because you're free from what you have been holding to stress yourself out against. Don't you know that the enemy will have assignment of people in your life that he do not want you to forgive? He placed them there to hurt you. He placed them there to destroy you so that you could remember every day of darkness and every night of pain that you stood in. He placed it there so that it could bring you sickness, so that it could bring you stress. And you see, what did God do? He said, whom the Lord have set free is free indeed. Whom the Son have set free is free indeed. You forgive others that you may be forgiven. And then if you don't, then your Father cannot forgive you. See, it's the ultimate weapon. Forgiveness is where your healing, your deliverance, and all of that. I'm not going to repeat it again. Love is your key to salvation. Forgiven is the ultimate weapon against your enemy. You want to make Satan mad? Forgive those who hurt you. Genuinely. No, you can't fake this. Stop hurting yourself with the fakeology of your Christianity. You can't go and say, oh, Lord, I forgive him, child Jesus. Lord, I forgive him. Oh, Lord, that. We do it, don't we? Oh, Lord, I forgive him. No. See, you've got to go to him. And you've got to say, Father, I don't want to even see them honored and blessed I don't even want to ever deal with them again. Father, I'm broken. Lord, they did it. God, they did. And God is saying, I know, come on, tell me. And you say, Father, I know that I've got to forgive them, but I really don't want to deal. And the Lord said, come on, bring it. And then Father said, do you really forgive them? Do you really forgive them? And because you love him and you turn your eyes to the cross and you see the blood sacrifice and you see the power of hell and destruction and you look at what Jesus died for, and what he died for was not only you, but all of them that trespassed against you. And you look to the hills in that cross, and because you got power coming from the cross, you said, Lord, I cannot, but I can do all things through Christ, which strengthen me. Give me the power to forgive each and there comes. And once you do that, he begin to fill you with the power and with the conviction of the Holy Spirit, and he releases your heart, he releases your soul, and he releases the pain through it. And then you begin to circumvent and to override, and God open your eyes and take the scale off and let you see that they are hurt. And they were hurting just like you were. and you say, Father, holding transgressions against someone is not worth it. I forgive them, Father. I forgive them all. You see, number one, you freed yourself. And number two, you set generations of people free. God looks at you and said, well done. Well done. That's what love is all about. Forgiving those close to you, in your family, in your heart, even in your past, who've done things to hurt you. It don't mean that you're going to go back and serve them. It don't even mean that you're going to go live with them again. Joseph is not going to go party with Reuben and Simeon when all this is all over. He going to get with his family. They all going to have a big party. Yeah, they're going to have a big party. But that's the reconnection fee. And then they're going to scatter and go their way. You do it every year at your family reunion. Everybody see everybody, oh yeah, hee haw, ho, ho, hey, hey, ho, ho. Success stories, blessed stories, money stories. Then after 3 days, they gone back. And they live in the same life that they lived before they met their relatives. Okay? He take the money, put it back in the sack. Let me show you this. In verse number 26, and they laded their asses with corn and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender, in the end he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth. Now, you know the story. They're going back. One of the asses, the donkey, the guy said, okay, I'm going to stop. Man, I better give you a little something to eat because you're doing a good job. You know how it is. You got those bags with the pull string on it, and you pull it, and special little Christmas gift bag and little jewelry bags, you know. Even the liquor store got them. The little Hennessy bags, you know, you pull the little bag. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, this big bag, so he pull it and open it up a little bit. Look at what Joseph did. Look what Joseph did. He placed the money right there in the mouth of the sack so that once they reached in to grab the coin, first thing they're going to do is hit the money. What did he do? He made sure that his family was going to have more than enough. But watch what happens. How many people do you know put things where you can find it? Children, don't our mother do that? Now, the key is going to be under the mat in front of the door. We all know that. The number to the safe is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We all know that. Okay? Same thing here. Here we go. And he said unto his brethren, verse number 28, my money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them. You know what they're saying? Oh, man, we're in trouble. And they were afraid, saying one to another, what is this that God have done unto us? Do you see it? Go blame it on God now, right? You see, People don't forget when they do you wrong. They go and savor it in the presence of others to try to soothe the healing of the past. But in the end, they know that God is still in control. God is still in charge. You see, many church folks, what they call Christians, they don't pray to God. They don't serve God. They watch God religiously on television. They'll listen to him on the radio. They'll talk about him on the telephone to other spirits that's just like them. But they don't serve him. They don't pray to him. You got them around you. You may be one of them. You see. Many Christians do not serve or even pray to God. They have a form of godliness. They have religion. They have connection. If many Christians, as they would say, serve God and pray to God, then why are so many of them, and have so many of them, gotten divorces and everyone knew them? Because they wasn't serving God. They wasn't. They wasn't praying. They wasn't coming together. Joseph is serving God. You see. That's why he was able to do what he's able to do. Because he loved God first. And they came to Jacob, their father, unto the land of Canaan, verse number 29, Genesis 42, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, this man who is the Lord of the land, this man who is the Lord of the land is your son, man. Spake roughly unto us. It took us for spies in the country. Well, he has an agenda. He has a purpose. And we said unto him, we are true men. We are no spies. We are true men. Yes, you are. You are true to who you are. But you wasn't true to your father that you're talking to right now. You lied to him. And you're still lying to him from about 10, 20 years of the past. You lying to yourself about your past. Now you're telling everybody that you're true. But you're living a lie still inside of you because they still haven't told their father what happened. There's a lot of people living a false lie and got many people believing it. They really got people believing it. Now let me tell you something. This is the one that you watch out for. You got two kinds, and you got one that you watch out for. And I'm going to give it to you straight. Brethren, Joseph know better. He's living with love in himself. Look at Potiphar's wife. Y'all better hear this. Here's the one that you watch out for. Hello. Oh, how you doing? Oh, everything all right. Oh, yeah. It's all so good. Praise the Lord. Yeah, we can get together. Yeah, everything fine. Oh, I miss you too. That's Potiphar's wife. Now, here's the one that you don't worry about. Oh, man, where you been? I'll tell you what. You better get in here. You ain't washed them. You ain't did nothing. Now, we got to close. But that's the rough one. There's a big difference. The one that's doing all that big fussing, that's the one telling you the truth. The one that's got that little sweet voice, that's the demon that you might better watch. We'll talk about it again on tomorrow night. My time is up. Ran just that fast. That's my time. Thank you for yours. This is Living With, Loving Me. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.